So, morning folks, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. As you can see, I've had my ears lowered this morning. Finally had the energy to get a haircut. Wanted to talk to you today a bit about kit, what you wear when you're fishing, right? Because it's incredibly important, like wading boots and waders and jackets, etc. are expensive, and it's a hell of an investment. And the last thing you want is to be buying crap, right? Is to be buying stuff that, you know, a week later, next thing you know, you've got a leak, right? So first off, I'll start with showing you these. These are grundens wading boots. And so far they are the best pair of wading boots I ever bought, right? I haven't put the studs in them yet, but you can see they have a unique hexagonal stud system, right? Grundens are a Swedish and American company, I think. That particular boot is called, I'm not actually sure what the name of that boot is. But the sole of it is Vibram leather or Vibram rubber, so it gives you incredible grip, right? But most importantly, what you'll see is that the cleats are plastic, right? So the salt won't corrode them. I mean, the salt there's so little stuff that's really made for salt water. Like if you have any metal, the salt just doesn't matter how well you wash it. Like, yeah, it'll last longer if you look after it particularly well, but it's still going to corrode, right? Like try to take good care of my reels, particularly. Like I wash them in lukewarm water every time after I fish with them and all the rest. But eventually the salt gets the better of everything, right? You know, it gets the better of the eyes in your rod and all the rest of it. But those boots have been just a fantastic investment. They really have. Now, in terms of waders, I'm still wearing, 3 years later, I'm still wearing a pair of Witchwoods. And I paid very little money for them, and there's still no leaks in them. There's actually a tear in the back where it's double layered, and still no water getting in. I mean, it's incredible, right? And like, it seems fine if you have a little leak during the day or whatever, but if you're on the beach at 2 o'clock in the morning and your legs are wet, you'll get cold very, very quickly. So it's important to have the right stuff, you know what I mean? Or stuff that works, right? So choose carefully is what I would say to you. Do your research, look around, make sure you have stuff that you're comfortable in. I know a lot of guys have gone the wetsuit route and all the rest of it. It's just not for me. I couldn't be pulling on a wetsuit and pulling off a wetsuit and doing all that crack. I just couldn't. It's not for me. I understand why some fellas really like it, but no thanks. I'll stick to my breathable waders, right? The other thing is a wading belt, right? Always wear a wading belt for a number of reasons. One, if you do go in the water, it'll stop your boots from filling up too quickly, right? And that has happened to me twice last year when I wasn't well. Now, hopefully it won't be such a problem this year. But two, you know, you can drop stuff into the front of your boots and get it back or whatever. The other thing to think about is your phone and other stuff, electronics. You know, get the waterproof bags, right? You can get them now for very little money, 20 quid, and you can get a totally waterproof bag. Get one that you can dangle around your neck and all the rest of it. Something for your car keys and all the rest. The other Grundens piece of kit I got is this here, which is their Gore-Tex jacket. It's fantastic. I mean, it's just so comfortable. Now, it's ultimate fishing, right? But it's Grundens logo, but it's made by Grundens. It's Gore-Tex. It's breathable, which allows the air in and out, and keeps the wet out, but you don't get too hot or too cold. For the autumnal fishing, obviously layers are the answer, right? Like I have an ultimate hoodie on me and it's incredibly thick, right? And then a thick t-shirt underneath, and then I'll have a sleeveless puffer, goose down puffer, and then my Gore-Tex jacket, and I'm good to go. And then a cagoule to cover your face, especially in the boat, right? Really important. So it's just stuff to think about, because there's an awful lot of tat out there. Like, I've paid big money for brand name boots, waders. I call them boots, but what I mean by boots is the actual waders themselves. And they just are rubbish, I'm not going to start mentioning brands because I'll get myself in trouble, but they're rubbish. You're just paying for the name. They're definitely not any better than some of the less recognized or less trendy brands or whatever, right? It's fantastic to show up in a pair of Yeti boots or whatever, but doesn't mean that they're any better than Witchwood, right? I mean, those Witchwoods are the best thing. Like, they're just incredible longevity. I mean, 3 seasons, and I fish hard, like, you know what I mean? Fish quite a few times a week, and it's the one thing I don't wash. I don't wash my waders. I just fire them in the back of the road, and I fire them in the back of the car. Guilty as charged, right? So it's important, and it's the kind of thing you're going to be thinking about coming into the spring, right? With the new season coming, people will be gearing up, getting ready. So I just thought I'd show you those few bits. Have a look for those Grundens boots. Give me 1 second, actually. I'll get you the name of them. Hang on, just let me move this camera for 1 sec. I can use the computer. Grundens actually have a sale on at the minute that's worth looking at. You go to Grundens EU. Got some cool t-shirts and stuff I just picked up for a tenner. Footwear. I think it's Bankside or something. Yeah, it's Bankside, right? So the Bankside boot is the one that I'm wearing, and honestly, they're just the best boots I've ever used. Other than that, not much to report today. Big order on the way in. Website is near completion. Whether it'll be done by Christmas or not, I haven't a clue. All I can tell you is I'm beavering away as fast as I can. The really good news is I am recovering this time. Thank God. Thank God. It's been such a long 2 years, 2.5 years, or 3 years, whatever it is. I can't even remember at this stage. But I feel so much better. I have energy, It's having the discipline not to go and spend that energy, right? That's what you have to do. I have to get through 3 months of just in and out of the tank every day. And the reward then will be springtime fishing. The crew from Ultimate are going to come over and do some fishing with me. I'm really looking forward to that. We're going to we'll have the cameras and the drones and stuff and get some really cool photos, and I'm really looking forward to that. So hopefully we get a good run of bass this spring, because last season, if you were honest, was pretty poor. The summer fishing was atrocious, like absolutely terrible. Spring fishing was pretty good, and the autumnal fishing apparently was really good, but I was sick in bed, right? Typical. Yeah, so lots of stuff coming down the line. Wet gear, really worth thinking about. Don't spend money on stuff, just because it's got a name doesn't mean it's good. And I guarantee you one thing to avoid is zip front waders. Jesus Christ, I will never ever again in my life buy a pair of zip front waders. They are absolutely terrible. They always leak. Always. I bought 3 pairs one time. One after the next, after the next. 3 times I sent them back until eventually I said, just no. Just give me the plain front ones. I don't care if I lose money. I don't want to know. How do you get a zip that's gonna stay waterproof over that length? It's not gonna happen. I just can't see it, right? Some fellas love it, but I tell you, never again. So that's it. The form is good, lads. All is well. Lots of exciting products coming in. Loads of dark sleeper. Actually, if anybody needs or particularly fancies any product or whatever, get on to the Ultimate site and drop me an email or WhatsApp or give me a ring and I will order it for you. I'll put it onto the site for you or just send the post or whatever. That's always there. Particularly true of the tenor rods. I don't want to hold 5 grand in fishing rods. I just don't. Like, it's not, the site is not that big. It's going to be a very small, bespoke little site that's aimed at just selling those lures that I fish, that I know work, and occasionally exploring some new stuff. Like this time, it's Raid Japan, right? The fang sticks I think are going to be phenomenal, right? They're very similar to an Evo Bass Lance, except they're just a bit shorter, a little fatter, and yeah, like they're 13 grams. I think they're going to absolutely fly. They'll sit down in the water, they'll fish in the current. I just have high hopes of them, but I could be wrong. They could be total rubbish, but it's only one way to find out, right? Is to go out and buy them. But to me, they look to be the dog's nuts. So speaking of which, he's out there in the hall going bananas. Come here, say hello to everybody. There he is. Yeah, bane in my life, that fella. So best dog in the world, aren't you? So that's it, guys. We'll talk to you soon. I just wanted to do a little video today on wet gear. Feel free to share your thoughts on it, and if you found any good products, post them up, share them with people. Like, use this as a platform to share stuff, it's a great idea. I'll get the name of those Witchwood boots actually, and I'll post it up, because they have been just incredible how long they've lasted for me. So it's the Bankside from Grundens, it's the Gore-Tex jacket from Grundens, and it's the Witchwood waders. That's my combination, right? Good wading belt, and then at the minute I'm using a Sakura bag, but I'm about to swap that over for the Ultimate fishing bag, because it looks the dog's nuts as well. I mean, it was Mega Bass and now it's Ultimate Fishing, so they've just bought out the design. Similarly, they've bought out the Zenith, they've bought out the Z-Claw, and we're going to have that 2025 in a whole bust of colours. We have a new feed popper coming as well that looks absolutely incredible. Dropped the nose on it a bit and made a few other alterations. It's a little heavier, it's got an extra rattle in there. I mean, it's a fantastic lure. I don't understand why people stop fishing poppers. I mean, if the storm chug bug used to work, if you look at the modern poppers, they're incredible, right? So and it's a really exciting way to fish, right? Plus I'll show you, I'm away now in an Airbnb, so I don't have all my kit with me, right? But I'll show you when I get home. I'll show you how to put some singles on and drop an assist off the middle. And if last year's anything to go by, it's always the middle assist that I was getting the fish on, and I was fishing in murky river backwater with a popper. Now the bass were feeding on the top layer of water, so they were honing in on the bloop bloop bloop, you know, and that's what was it was. They were lateral line and just smash. I was with my great friend Brad Ridsdale. We had an epic morning's fishing. I mean, the two of us were just shaking with excitement by the time we were done. It was just a fantastic morning's fishing. Like, you know, such a pity we didn't get it on film, but this year, you know, we'll be a bit better prepared. So that's it. Hope everybody is well. Have a good day. Have a great weekend, and I might take a break over the weekend and have something new to talk about on Monday. So mind yourself, guys, everybody, and stay well.